allowing me to speak to you tonight, and also thank you for being a part of this committee. That obviously means you care about Augusta and you care about our government, so I appreciate your efforts. I'll tell you a little bit about myself. I'm a native Augustan. I graduated from the University of Georgia in 1991. And I have to say I was pretty excited on Sunday with our new Masters champion. But what a great week for Augusta. I have two children. I have a 14-year-old daughter, Morgan, and I have an 11-year-old son, Charlie. I've been involved on the Family Law Board here in Augusta, the Irish American Heritage Society, and the Richmond County Public Library Board of Trustees. I've worked since 1991, since I graduated, and most of my career has been in alumni relations and development work. So I've had the pleasure of working at Augusta State University and what was then the Medical College of Georgia, and now I work part-time at St. Mary's Church and School in development work. I am very excited to be a candidate for District 3 Augusta Commission. I feel I'm running because I care about Augusta's future. I know that I will make good decisions based on the residents of District 3, but ultimately based on all of Augusta. We have a good future if we all work together, and I want us to move forward together. We also have the resources here in Augusta to be the envy of all other cities. So I would focus my efforts as Commissioner to make the resources that we already have to ensure that they're in the best possible condition. I would put every effort towards making sure that our public safety has everything that they need to ensure that we have the safest city possible. I mean, ultimately, we all want a safe and clean city. In my career for 16 years in development work, my main responsibilities are to bring people together of all different backgrounds, opinions, and ideas, and get them to work together and to make good decisions based on the organization that we're working for. And that is what I would want to do for Augusta. My career has given me the leadership skills to allow people to get into a room and get along and work together. And that's what I would do. I have worked with very large budgets in my organizations that I work for and small budgets. And I am a good steward of other people's finances. I feel that we have so many positive things going on right now in Augusta, with the announcement just recently with Starbucks coming here, 180 jobs being brought to Augusta. That's awesome. With the merger of GSHU and ASU, that's going to bring more students here, more jobs here. So with more economic development, we will have more tax revenue. I think we should be so excited about that, and I am. So tonight I'm just here to introduce myself and ask you for your support. Ultimately I ask for your prayers. When it comes time, which we don't know when, but I ask for your vote too. And I just look forward to meeting any of you that I haven't had the opportunity to yet. So thank you again for allowing me to speak.
So I want to talk to you first a little bit about my philosophy about how to govern, and then I want to tell you a little bit about who I am. To me, the number one thing that we need to do in Augusta, Georgia, I've been here 20 years now. I'm not a native. I've adopted, I hope, the city. But economic development is what rises all boats. It's what drives the tide. And to me, that has to be locally grown economic development. That's the key. You know, it's great to have Starbucks, it's great to have Walmart, but let me give you a number. If you have a corporate retailer come to town, 13 cents of every dollar stays in Augusta. The other 73 cents or 77 cents goes to Bentonville, Arkansas, or wherever. If you have a locally grown business, a privately owned business, the kind of businesses that I've been representing for 15 years in my practice, 45 cents of that dollar stays in Augusta, Georgia. That's putting your money back in your community. That's what we need to build. So what do we have to have that kind of economic development? Well, as Mary said, the first thing you have to have is you have to have public safety. Public safety obviously has to be the number one priority. You know, we've had 3 officers killed in 6 months. We've got to have sound infrastructure. That's the road, that's the sewer, that's the garbage pickup. And then they voted yesterday about, garbage collection. That's the kind of mundane things that your county commission does on a day-to-day basis. You've got to have a skilled workforce. You've got to work with the Richmond County school system and say the way to attract people back to Augusta, Georgia is to have skilled workforce. You've got to have public school kids. My kids are public schools kids. My kids have been blessed to go to magnet schools. One's at C.T. Walker and one's at Davidson. They've been at magnet schools their whole lives since we've been here. And you have to have public amenities. As I mentioned, I've been the attorney for the Coliseum Authority for 10 years. Well, almost 10 years, if you don't count the time I got fired. Freddie wasn't on there. That was afterwards. He hired me back. But, we have to have those things. Those things attract investment into our community. Can't you see the difference in what that Coliseum Authority and what that Coliseum has done since these guys actually brought in Global Spectrum, hired them in, we outsourced that, we got people that knew what they were doing to run that place, and now we have Elton John selling out, and now we have shows selling out all the time. That's what that has to be. Commissioners have to lead with their actions as well as their words. Right? So you have to be, I think, as a commissioner, like a Georgia Pine. You've got to be strong enough to withstand the challenges of your time, but you've got to be bendable enough to move when you need to move without breaking. Right? I understand, after 20 years of practicing law, how to negotiate. I understand that negotiation is not a zero-sum game. It doesn't mean there has to be a loser for every winner. We can have a negotiation and everybody wins. That's what a deal is. I mean, in my world, that's what I do. I negotiate business transactions. I help people start up and run and sell businesses. I understand that the best deal is where everybody feels like they left a little something on the table, but the deal's still closed. That's the best deal. Service has been a theme of my life since I graduated from high school. I joined the United States Navy out of high school as a nuclear power plant operator. I spent 10 years on submarines. So I understand what Plant Vogtle means to this community. Those are the last commercial power plants that were put online after 3 Mile Island, and they will be the first commercial power plants that come back to this country. And that is a revolution that can turn the country. And we can be the leaders. I understand that. Judge Overstreet talked about the drug court. And we talked about part of what I can do, part of what I do on a daily basis is draw connections across this community. I work with a group called the Society for Human Resources Management. It's about 130 HR professionals all over across the CSRA. We have connected with the drug court and Judge Blanchard's program to help teach those people who are in the drug court program how to get better jobs, how to get a resume written, how to interview, how to be productive members of our society again. Those are the kind of connections that we have to make, the public-private partnerships that make sense, that keep us from spending $50 a day on somebody and instead having them have a job and paying taxes and being a productive member of society. Those are the kind of connections that we have to be able to make, and that's the leadership that we need from our county commission, the people that are able to draw those connections and make it happen. Thank you very much, and I think we'll be open. You want to take questions, Richard? I'm happy to. And Mary, thank you.